Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager, Season 7, Episode 22, Natural Law. So this was an interesting episode, but it kind of felt like more like a placeholder. I don't know, maybe I'm expecting more of like Deep Space Nine, where like the last 9 episodes of the entire series were this big build-up, but this one felt very like just kind of a placeholder. Like, it was a good episode. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was pretty decent, but it wasn't fantastic, and it wasn't one that like, oh, I'm like just waiting for the end of the series at this point. So for the most part, it's Seven and Chakotay, which is kind of interesting because like just a couple episodes ago, we saw Seven like imagining her perfect relationship and stuff like that with Chakotay. And you kind of feel that awkward tension between the two. They end up like crashing into like this barrier and having to like live among these like natives who don't really speak. They kind of use sign language to communicate, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. In the meantime, Janeway has actually given shore leave because she thinks that Seven and Chakotay are at like this conference, and Tom has basically been pulled over and given like a ticket and has to take this piloting course and has to be checked off that, okay, you are a safe pilot. And it's this really awkward subplot, like could have completely done without, but it is kind of funny. So anyways, we learn that hundreds of years ago, these aliens put this protective barrier around the natives to kind of keep them intact. So it's almost like a biosphere that keeps them in. So nobody can get in, nobody can get out. But somehow or another, Seven and Chakotay made it in, and so now Janeway's trying to figure out how do we get them out of it. They do end up making a small hole in there to transport in and out. And of course, because they do find that hole, the other people on the planet are like, finally, now we can get in. And Janeway's like, no. We did this to get our people out and our technology out, not so you can go in there. And they're like, you already let us in. You can't make us get out. And so, of course, Tom has to interrupt his piloting course, like takes the flyer, beams everybody out against their will, and puts the barrier back intact. Overall, it's an interesting episode just to kind of watch them, like watch how technology affects the natives, watch the communication throughout the two. It's a good episode, but it's not like a series, it's not the final series type of episode. Like, this would have been like a season 3 or season 4 episode, in my opinion. So for those who've seen it, what did you guys think about Seven and Chakotay pairing together? What did you think about Tom like having to go to like driver's ed? Go ahead, let me know. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Homestead.